Hello and welcome everyone to our YouTube channel. Today we're going to take you on a journey to the land of the rising sun and most importantly, the land of ramen, anime, and sushi, Japan. It's the most beautifully strange country in the world, which does not shy away from experimenting whether with food, entertainment, or science. A lot of the time, these experimentations leave the rest of the world scratching their heads all confused. So in this video today, we're going to list down the top 10 things that make sense only in Japan. Number 10. Naki Sumo Contest. The name of the contest does have a word sumo in it, but no sumo wrestler physically fight in this one. Rather, you would be shocked to know that instead of two rikishi, hold babies in their arms facing each other inside the ring, the actual competition is between the two babies and not the fighters. In this contest, the babies held by the rikishis face one another, and the first child to cry out among the two is declared the winner. That is why it is also known as the Crying Baby Contest. Just because the participants are baby does not mean that winning the competitions is a child play, pun intended. In many intense rounds of the referees, instead of making the first crier the winner, have to examine properly which contender's cry is the loudest in volume and strength. Only the loudest of the contestants can be victorious. Number 9. KFC for Christmas. When you think of Christmas, the food that comes to your mind is yummy cookies, hot chocolate, and homemade scrumptious family dinners. On this holiday, everyone prefers homemade instead of takeouts from restaurants. But this only applies to the rest of the world, not so in Japan. The way families cook dinner together is a Christmas tradition in many places around the world. In Japan, the Christmas tradition is to eat KFC on Christmas Eve. On this day, the popular fast food joint is so much in demand that if you want to eat some fried chicken from KFC on Christmas Eve, then you better place your order a few weeks in advance. Number 8. Cafe culture. In most countries, cafe is often synonymous with the hangout spots for teenagers. Therefore, customize their themes according to the ones of the youngsters. But in Japan, cafes are for everyone. In this East Asian country, you will find more cafes than usual houses. That's how popular cafes are. As a result of this popularity, there's a lot of competitions. Therefore, many cafes use different themes to make themselves more unique than their rivals. Different anime-themed cafes are quite common, but there are some really strange ones too. There is a cafe that only serves canned foods and another one with a pig theme where you can pet the baby pigs. There are several cafes with different dogs and cats to pet too. Even the food served in Japanese cafes are nothing like the food that you will find anywhere else in the world. Including serving snacks and drinks, these places also serve gourmet food. You can easily get your breakfast, lunch, and dinner from Japanese cafes. Number 7. Cup Noodles and Ramen Museum. It should be considered illegal for tourists to visit Japan and not have a hot bowl or cup of noodles. These East Asian nations have given a lot of things to the world that we are all grateful for, and ramen noodles top this list. Any other country and it would have been ridiculous, but it makes it complete sense for Japan to have a whole museum dedicated towards cup noodles. The Cup Noodles Museum features the history of instant cup noodles creations and an exhibitions of many different types and flavors. The Ramen Museum is more of a food court, which is in the theme of 1950 chef Japan, the year when ramen was invented. Located in Yokohama, Japan, this museum will not make you bored, but you will be hungry halfway through the tour. Number 6. Citizenships to Godzilla. In 1954, for the first time, the public witnessed one of the most iconic monsters in the history of world cinema, the Godzilla. In the movies, it is shown as a rampaging and enormous monster that resurrected due to nuclear radiation. After waking up, the monster goes on to destroy the Shinjuku ward of Japan and fights with the Japanese self-defense forces. In real life, the Shinjuku people might have been afraid of the monster, but in real life, they welcome Godzilla as one of their citizens. You must be wondering how is it possible or even logical to grant citizenships to a creature that does not exist outside of the green screen of movies. Well, it might not be very logical, but the mayor of the said ward has made this possible. Number 5. No tipping. After being done with food, tipping the server is good manners unless you're in Japan. It does not matter how much you love the food and how good the service was, tipping the waiter is considered the complete opposite of good manners. If you leave some money behind for them, the servers will very likely consider it as an insult. This is so because providing excellent service to the customers is the standard of all Japanese businesses, including restaurants and eateries. Therefore, unless you want to be called rude by a Japanese server, do not give them tips. Number 4. Sleeping in work. If you sleep in class or office anywhere in the world, you will be called lazy and will be heavily reprimanded. Plus, it is very humiliating too to take a nap in the middle of the work. But perhaps Japan is the only country in the world where falling asleep in the office is a sign of hard work. In Japan, you will also find many people asleep on benches in train stations and parks. Some companies allow their employees to take a nap during the afternoons. This is a common practice known as inemuri. Number 3. Kit Kat Museum. In most of the world, Kit Kat is a bar of wafer chocolate, but in Japan, it's an obsession. And when the people of this country love something, they make it a museum out of it. The Japanese people have a wide and interesting palate and are not afraid to try new flavors. The vast range of Kit Kat flavors is a testimony to that. Any flavor that you can think of has already been done by the Kit Kat confectioners of Japan. In the Kit Kat museums of Japan, you will find 300 flavors of the chocolate. There are yummy flavors that all of you would like to try, like apple, pancake, cheesecake, pudding, and etc. But there are also ones that would make you question the taste preferences of Japanese, such as wasabi, cheese, corn, and soup. And here is a little tidbit of an interesting fact for you. In the year 2010, the most sold flavor of Kit Kat in Japan was soy flavor. Number 3. One vending machine per 23 people. In Japan, you will find rows and rows of vending machines at the side of the streets, at 1 machines per 23 people. This country has the highest density of vending machines. The reasons for this fact is that the estate prices of the cities are very high. Plus, the urban areas have a high populations too. Hence, as a result of lack of space, many companies open up vending machines rather than opening up a store. But like other places, snacks, candies, and drinks aren't the only thing you can buy from those machines in Japan. You can buy anything from a vending machine that you can get from a grocery store and more, like canned food, socks, sandals, AirPods, mobile phones, etc. Number 2. Rabbit Island. We told you about cafes in Japan that have pigs, dogs, and cats. So it is not a huge surprise that an island in Japan has a holiday resort for bunnies. The Usagajima of Japan attracts tourists for its large populations of bunnies. The rabbits are everywhere on this island, and since they are very friendly, they will even play with you and sit on your lap. Number 1. Weird game shows. While the rest of the world has pretty normal talent shows, cooking competitions, or quizzes, Japanese game shows are completely wild. Most of the shows have a common theme of putting the participants in a very humiliating situations. These shows masquerade as family shows, but the grossly explicit content will never be publicly broadcasted in any other country. For example, there is a show where the contestants have to eat spaghetti out of a dryer to win a monetary prize. Some of those shows can be very hazardous to human life, like another one where the contestants are electrified for no apparent reason. When it comes to uniqueness, no country can compete with Japan. Their wild ideas and innovations might seem strange to us outsiders, but these are also the reasons which makes them different from the rest of the world. That's all for today's video. If you enjoyed it, then please make sure to like and also subscribe to our channel. We also appreciate any feedbacks that you have for us, so share those in the comment sections. And do not forget to hit the bell icon for updates. I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.